All right, I'm good here.
Okay.
And good evening, Royals fans, and we welcome you inside the Redeemer Athletic Center here in Ancaster for today's OCAA men's basketball matchup. It's a one-game slate today. Just the men's team taking on the Canadore Panthers here on a Saturday afternoon. The weather just above zero outdoors, but inside, Redeemer looking to break their cold streak following their third consecutive loss on Wednesday against Sheridan. They welcome in a team that is equally struggling, the 0-6 Canadore Panthers. And while both teams do occupy the bottom two spots in the standings currently outside of the playoff picture, a win today imperative for either team if they do intend to catch one of those positions. My name's Will Dykstra, and we welcome you inside Redeemer here today. Almost set to go. We'll get to the starting lineups in just a moment here. Redeemer comes into this game 1-6. They're going to start their third-year guard Cole Arnold as well as third-year guard Jason Oswomo in the backcourt. The front court, it's the OCAA leading scorer Parker Davis, the fourth-year senior out of Hamilton, and he'll be joined by Gabe Della Foresta. And then running down the 5 position will be Ben Dick. He returns to the starting lineup. Meanwhile, for Canadore, it's going to be Favor Okonkwo. He will be starting at the point guard position alongside Zuriel Malongo. And then in the front court, it'll be Levi Coombs and Jonathan Tashinda. Coombs averages 40% three-point percentage on the season. It's a very efficient shooter, the third year out of Kapaskasing, Ontario. And then it will be Royal Egbonkin at the 5 position. He averages 9 points per game the first year out of Scarborough. And so Canadore coming down from North Bay for this game. They dropped their last matchup at home to St. Clair. That was on Sunday, a score of 106-63, while Redeemer took a bit of a step back in terms of their performance with a tough 125-85 loss to Sheridan. We'll step aside briefly for the national anthems here, and then we will be all as the starting lineups get introduced here, let's take a closer look at Redeemer's starting five for today. Of course, Cole Arnold, we mentioned, he starting his third game of this season. He started two prior to this. He's definitely proven to be a good presence in the backcourt for Redeemer, the way he handles the play, front perimeter defense for Redeemer. Of course, his second year with the Royals after playing one season with Georgian. He's, of course, joined by Jason Oswomo. Oswomo, not off to the best start shooting-wise, just shooting 25% from the field. However, his presence defensively, certainly something that Coach Hopkins and Coach Brown are going to be looking for. And then, of course, Parker Davis. We mentioned earlier he's averaging 23 points per game heading into this one. He's doing it efficiently as well, 42% from the field. We've seen a lot of teams, of course, lock in on him as a defensive strategy, and Coach Hong of Canadore, a well-tenured coach here with the Panthers trying to develop this program, certainly is going to have that approach as well. And then Gabe Della Foresta, he had a fantastic game against Niagara last weekend. Knocked down 5 3-pointers in that one, and Della Foresta shooting a very efficient 40% from beyond the arc. He gets his 6th start for the Royals today. And so as we get set to go here, Redeemer will be in the red from right to left on your screen. Canadore from left to right. A crucial game for both of these teams in their hunt for the playoffs. We are set to go. It's going to be Ben Dick going up against Egbonkin. And Egbonkin will control the tip. It's tussled for. Oswomo collects it. Della Foresta corralling it under the hoop. Goes up for the layup, and he is fouled. And so a quick start to this one. We'll see Gabe Della Foresta head to the line to start things off in this game. And as we were mentioning in the pregame, Redeemer is the most efficient team in the OCAA at the free throw line. They are 5th in free throw attempts, 1st in free throw percentage. And Della Foresta will knock down the first, and he puts the Royals on the board just 6 seconds into this one. Della Foresta, the 4th-year guard at Almont, Ontario. His brother Jeremiah will be a big spark plug off the bench in this one, as well as his other high school teammate, Ben Dick. Meanwhile, here comes Okonkwo. He'll hand it off to Levi Coombs, the 3rd year. And here is Egbonkin for Canadore up top. He loses the ball there, and Gabe will pick it up for Redeemer. Arnold trying to push in transition. Possible numbers. Here comes Davis. A spin move. He'll go up for the 2 off the front of the rim. And Davis unable to convert on his first attempt of the game. Here comes Okonkwo. Leaves it off for Egbonkin, who puts it in, and Canadore draws level. Egbonkin had Woodley Kime had 14 points against St. Clair. Egbonkin starting in place of him today. As that pass from Della Foresta takes a tip, and it'll be Royals ball on the baseline. Chance to set up a set piece out of bounds play here with 11 seconds to go on the shot clock. Here's Oswomo top of the key. Hands it off. Davis inside, pump fake, goes up with the left, can't get it to go. Rebounded by Canadore, numbers the other way. Here comes Coombs, up for 2 against Oswomo. He is fouled. And so Oswomo picks up the foul on Levi Coombs, who attacked aggressively in transition, and he will go to the line. Coombs, the 5'11 guard, as we mentioned pregame out of Kapaskasing, Ontario. He is in his 3rd year. He can't knock down the first free throw. Canadore, we mentioned Redeemer shoots the 5th most free throws in the OCAA. Canadore shoots the 6th most. And so the free throw line, the charity stripe, a efficient method of scoring for both teams. Here's Oswomo with the left hand. He puts it up and in, a strong finish. But Redeemer don't have bodies back, and this is going to be an easy lay-in for Faber Okonkwo, as Redeemer did not have their get-backs in place. We saw that really hurt them against Sheridan during on Wednesday, and it burns him here. That was a 2-on-0. And so the bucket from Oswomo is negated. Here's a nice dish inside to Ben Dick. Davis gets the assist. Once again, Canadore trying to push it there, but nice to see the inside-out play. Davis with the assist, and now Dick will get the steal. Here's a throw over the top, a beautiful pass from Cole Arnold, and Davis is on the board, his second bucket of the game, and that's a transition look there. And back the other way, that is Zuriel Malongo. He puts it in, plus the foul. Back and forth this game goes in the first quarter. Parker Davis is going to be called. And a chance for a three-point play here for Zuriel Malongo. The first year out of Hamilton. He played his high school ball just down the road at St. Thomas More. And he will get a chance for one more from the line, and he gets it to go. And so Canadore bringing in a bit of a zone press here. That's a risky pass, and it's going to be a turnover. And, Redeemer's going to get off the hook here. Asuomo picks it up, and Davis, nobody there to challenge him. He's got 6 points here in the first quarter. Not a good-looking press break from Redeemer, but they get bailed out on the turnover. And that's a dish inside. And it's going to be a turnover here for Canadore as Royal Agbankin shuffled his feet after receiving the pass. And so Redeemer will get another chance from the baseline out of bounds, a chance to set something up a little bit better to break this press. It looks like a man press here from Canadore. It's going to be Malongo guarding Cole Arnold. Help coming from Agbankin. And now Della Foresta inside, and Dick puts it in. And so Redeemer able to pick apart the press. Dick's got his second bucket of the game, and that's going to be a full court pass over the head of Royal Agbankin, and it'll be another turnover here for Canadore. And Coach Hong's seen enough. He's going to switch things up here. He's going to bring in, it's going to be Woodley Kime, as well as, and that's going to be Eli Menda. As we mentioned, Kime had 14 points on Sunday against St. Clair. He's been a real efficient scorer for the Panthers. He does not get the start today, so he'll come in off the bench. Coach Hopkins leaving the same five out. Here is a swim to the left hand again. That is off of his foot, and it'll go out of bounds. And now we'll see two of Redeemer's standout first years. We've seen some good production from both of these guys. It's going to be Jack Narula and Caden King-Stewart coming into this one. And that's another pass over the head. Redeemer's got some bodies forward. Here is Davis, picked up by Narula. Skip pass. Arnold for three from the right corner. Knocks it down. And a bit of inside-out action. Narula with the assist. And Redeemer on a 7-0 run here with 3 minutes gone by. Stephen Hong will call the timeouts. And so some good action there. Redeemer showing a little bit of composure after seeing that press. We saw them really struggle against Sheridan on Wednesday with that full court press action, not having bodies where they needed to be. That time showing a little bit more poise and breaking down the press, finding Ben Dick on the inside, forcing turnovers the other way. And Redeemer's off to a quick 8-point lead with 7 minutes to go here in the first quarter. And so it'll be baseline out of bounds. It looks like Redeemer's going to bring in a bit of a zone press. Arnold and Della Foresta on the wings with Davis playing up front. Zuriel Malongo will take it up for Canadore here. He'll swing it back out to Tashinda. Dish pass on that coffin corner here at the Redeemer gym. Eli Minda skips the pass. That shot is off the front of the rim. King-Stewart battling for it with Malongo. And it's picked up by Tashinda, up for two with the right hand on the opposite side. Good box out by Arnold. It's bounced around. And that'll be laid up and in by Malongo, who's got 5 points in the game now. Arnold quickly trying to break this out of the other side, going up with the right hand. Can't get it to go. And so out of the timeout, Canadore trying to look for a quick 4-0 run. This is Malongo again on the inside. Puts it in, gets the foul. And Zariel Malongo with a quick 4-0 run of his own. Chance to make it a 5-0 run right out of the timeout. And so we're going to see two switches here. It's going to be Elijah Ona as well as Jeremiah Della Foresta replacing Arnold and the other Della Foresta. Meanwhile, Malongo's got a chance to make this a one-possession game, rather. Malongo on the season shoots 28% from the field, and he can't knock down that free throw. And so he'll skip it here. Davis looking to shoot it. He will drive on the left-hand side. A nice dish pass to the right corner. That's Della Foresta off the front of the rim. Can't get it to go. Rebound. He goes out of bounds. Canadore basketball. And that's a nice dish from Davis. Canadore bringing early help on the OCAA leading scorer. Be able to find a shooter on the right-hand side. Meanwhile, an open shot there from Eli Menda, no good. And this will be King Stewart. Here's Jerry, a dangerous pass. Davis picks it, pulls it up for three and hits it. Royal Igbonkin got a little too ambitious on the attempt to make the steal, and Davis steps into a open three-pointer with the left-hand dribble. 7-point game here, and it'll be another turnover on the Panthers. And so Davis is off to a hot start in this game once again. He's got 7 points on the game. That being his first three-point attempt. Redeemer have shot 2 for 3 from beyond the arc. Picking their spots. It's been an encouraging start offensively here. Bit of an Atlanta screen look. Davis denies the screen coming from Narillo. Goes up with the right hand on the left-hand side. Not enough on it. Rebound taken there by Tashinda. And now he'll go one-on-one against Jeremiah. Skip pass outside. Kime shoots for 3. No good. Rebounded by Ona. And that's Coach Ruggie on the bench trying to encourage Redeemer to go quickly. King Stewart went up for it. And he will get called on the charge. Standing outside of the charge circle was Igbonkin, and he got his feet set. Does well to get there in transition. And that'll be the 4th team foul on the Royals, the first of the game for King Stewart. And so Ben Dick will come back in. King Stewart stays out there, so Redeemer going with a bit of a two bigs look here. Here's the skip pass. Igbonkin will have a lane down with the left hand. He will go up for 2. And Jeremiah Della Foresta called for the foul. Trying to argue his case that he was going straight up, but certainly looked like he was going into the driving Igbonkin, who will go to the line. Igbonkin averaging just under 10 points per game. The free throw line has not been his friend. He shoots 47% on the season, but he knocks down the first. Igbonkin played his high school ball at St. Mother Teresa Catholic Academy in Scarborough in his first year with the Panthers, and Igbonkin knocks down 2 for 2. So a 5-point game. Eli Menda guarding the ball. And now they're going to bring 2 against Ona, trying to wrap around with the pass. And now they got to be careful here. They got to get it over half. King Stewart coming in, gets it out. Redeemer with a 3-on-1 chance now. Ona dishes to Ben Dick on the inside. And a nice bit of offense there by Redeemer, breaking the press. King Stewart playing as the pivot in the center of the court. And he gets the action going. Meanwhile, here we've got, it looks like Ona might have taken a shot there. Canadore still has the ball. Skip 3. That one rims out. And Ona will grab yet another rebound. He looks okay for the moment. Ona has 3 rebounds in the game. That's a nice backdoor cut there. And Davis puts it in. And on the ensuing inbound, it's going to be a foul called here. And we'll see who this is going to be on. I think it's going to be on Caden King Stewart. If it is, it'll be his second. We'll wait for the official decision, but regardless, it's going to send Zariel Malongo the length of the court to shoot 2. And we've also got Tomas Barbosa coming into the game for the first time. Malongo hits the first. And Malongo can't knock that second one down, but he gets the rebound. Dished out. Here's Woody Sign. Big block from Dick. Redeemer trying to spring up the offensive 3-on-3. Dish to the corner. Arnold for three. Short. But rebounded by King Stewart inside. The dish pass. Looking for Barbosa, but it was Arnold who stepped out of bounds. And how about that defensive play down there by Ben Dick? Gets up. Clean block. The first of the game for either team. So now Oswomo back in for the Royals, and he'll guard the ball here. And that's good defensive play by Oswomo on the ball. He will take it up with the left hand, puts it in. Redeemer swarming the Panthers offensively here. And Oswomo picks up the cookies and puts it in. That pass goes through the hands. And it'll have to be Johnson up top, giving it up to Coombs. And another turnover. Barbosa coming up with this one. Davis streaking down the right-hand side. Goes up and lays it in. Davis closing in on double-digit points in this first half. Canadore trying to keep this one from getting out of hand. This is Okonkwo. Dishes it across. Johnson's going to drive. Left hand. Puts it up. Off the glass and in. And so Tyrone Johnson gets on the board. And it will be a foul here on the ensuing possession as Arnold was driving hard down the left-hand side. It might have been favor of Okonkwo, got his hands in there. Just the second team foul on Canadore. And they're going to make some more changes here. We're going to see Miles Barth, the second year out of Calgary. Both him and Woodley Kime played their high school ball at Edge Preparatory School in Calgary. No doubt would have had some exposure to some high-level hoops over there, but getting a good chance here in the OCAA. Here's a wraparound pass from Barbosa and another turnover as Barbosa stepped out of bounds. And so 2:39 to go in quarter number one. Redeemer leads by 10. They've had a good showing offensively, and they've managed to cause some havoc on the defensive side. Here's a dish inside. That's a nice look for Miles Barth cutting from the top of the key, and he will get fouled, and he'll go to the line for two shots. And it'll be called a hit. It'll be called contact to the head, and so Barth will go to the line for two. And speaking of guys coming from the west coast of Canada, we've got Jackson Thackeray checking into the game for the first time. Of course, Thackeray coming from Richmond, BC. A real staple here of this Royal squad over the years as Barth misses the second. Picked up by Barbosa now. Barbosa will try to drive. He will dish it to the corner. That's Oswomo. Good swing of the ball here. Dish inside. Dick trying to go one-on-one. He'll skip it back to Oswomo. Driving with the left hand. Euro steps his way in. Can't get enough on the finish. Canadore going the other way. 4-on-3. Barth leaves it up top to Okonkwo, who puts it up for two, and he missed everything there. And so favor Okonkwo unable to knock down the jumper inside 2 minutes of this first quarter. Redeemer up 26-17. Arnold will try and set up a half-court set here. Thackeray coming in off the lift screen looking for Dick. He's got position. But now Barbosa will take it back out. They'll try to go with 7 on the shot clock. He will drive with the right hand, gets inside, can't finish. Over the hands of Woodley Kime. And now he'll try to go one-on-one, driving against Barbosa, who got his hands out where they shouldn't have been. And so Barbosa will get called for the foul on the drive. Kime will go to the line for 2 shots in the bonus. And so when you look at the way that the scoring's been spread out across this first quarter, Canadore really making a living from the free throw line, as we mentioned. Redeemer able to make some shots and get some easy layups in transition. It's been pretty productive for them. But Canadore, thankfully for them, have been pretty efficient from the charity stripe, as we see Kime knock one down there. They'll get a chance for one more. Narula back in the game for Redeemer, as Kime no good on the second. And here's a skip pass to Davis. Davis has been great for Redeemer in this first half again. At the elbow is Arnold. Thackeray guarded by Barth. 10 on the shot clock, coming off the screen. Arnold pulls up for two, short. Had Narula rolling on the inside, didn't find him. And here's Kime driving on Davis. Skip pass across to Okonkwo. Gets inside, leaves it for Johnson. Johnson going one-on-one against Thackeray, puts it up and over. Thackeray couldn't have done much more defensively. And so it's a 6-point game. Arnold electing to slow things down for now. Leaves it for Barbosa. Driving it off the left side. He will put up the left-handed layup, and it's in. Plus the foul. Miles Barth will get called. And Tomas Barbosa, his first bucket of the game, he'll get a chance to go to the line for one more. We talk about Barbosa. He's been in and out of the starting lineup for Redeemer this year. This game coming in off the bench. But he's been a great asset on both ends of the ball. And now here's Johnson. He's got two guys on him. Johnson gets it out of trouble. Okonkwo goes up for two with the right hand and puts it in. And so a chance to go 2 for 1. It'll be Barbosa driving hard. Skips the pass. Arnold takes the dribble, puts it up for 3. Can't hit it. And so Canadore, with less than a second differential game clock, shot clock, they will look to slow things down. Stephen Hong in no rush here with 12 on the game clock, 11 on the shot. Okonkwo takes the screen from Johnson, going against Barbosa. Back to his right hand. He will skip it. Here is the 3 from the right-hand side. That one off the backboard. No good. And time will expire here in quarter number 1. Redeemer off to a good start offensively, but Canadore staying within striking distance. 29-22 the score, as both teams able to find their footing offensively. Parker Davis leading the scoring for Redeemer, while for Canadore, it was Zariel Molongo. And at the quarter break, Royals fans, we want to remind you that for over 25 years, Finn Pools has been transforming backyards with custom designs, expert installations, and trusted maintenance. Delivering top quality products they stand behind. From concept to completion, they believe kindness matters and every project deserves excellence. Visit finpools.ca to learn more or start your next pool project today. And a thank you to Finn Pools for sponsoring Redeemer Royals Athletics. And so we mentioned before the game how important this is going to be for both teams in terms of the way that the standings sit right now. Both teams with 6 losses on the year. Redeemer the only team that has found a win, and they did so here at Redeemer against Conestoga. And speaking of Conestoga, that is the team that they are both chasing. 2-6 ahead of Redeemer in the standings. Of course, Redeemer holds that win against them, which is going to be huge coming down the stretch. If they were to win today, they would make their way into that 8th place position. Redeemer also has a huge game coming up next weekend right back here in Ancaster against Fanshawe, who is the other team that's in that 2-win category right now. And it's been the past 2 years, both these teams today, Canadore and Redeemer, have been in and out of the playoff picture in the OCAA West, a very competitive OCAA West. And so when you see these head-to-head matchups, they become all the more important. And Redeemer's got a 7-point lead in this one at the quarter. Levi Coombs is back in the game for Canadore, as is Kajon White. And White will drive, and it'll be a turnover. Thought it might have gone off of Narula, but the first-year guard out of Toronto will be responsible for the first turnover of this second quarter. And we're seeing a bit of a 2-2-1 press action here. Della Foresta receives the pass from Arnold, and they're able to break it successfully. Arnold trying to find Davis, who's being face guarded right now by Okonkwo. 11 to shoot. Davis calling for the screen, goes the other way. Coming off of Narula's action, and he puts it in. Davis with another bucket. And Davis, he's got 13. Here's Okonkwo on the right-hand side. He will look to find. That was Barth streaking from the 45 cut. And now Thackeray driving with the left hand. Patient underneath the hoop, and that's blocked. Canadore will get possession back, and now Miles Barth driving down with the right hand. A nice finish. Puts it in. Narula was chasing him down. And so both teams able to find their first points of this second quarter with a minute gone. A bit of a change of matchup there on Davis. A good swing. Narula's got the matchup he wants against Barth inside. Patient with it. A nice swing pass with the left hand. Della Foresta knocks it down for 3. And some great inside-out basketball as Narula able to locate his shooter. And Della Foresta might be as good of an option as you can ask for in the league right now. He knocks it down. His first 3-point attempt of the game. And meanwhile, the other way, Canadore. That was Baron Cabella. His first attempt at a game. Not close. And so Redeemer will have another chance to try and convert an opportunity off of this press. Narula coming in and setting a hard screen on Miles Barth. He'll skip it across. Another shot for Della Foresta. No good. That one looked good from his angle, but had a little too much on it. And here comes Cabella again, the skip pass. He'll send it back out. Okonkwo with 15 on the shot clock. He'll try go one-on-one against Ona. The screen from Cabella. Nothing there. He'll dish it back up. Step back shot from Woodley Kime. No good. Redeemer with numbers. 3-on-2. Davis will take it himself. No, he dishes it to Cole Arnold, who puts it in for 2. And Davis, another assist. Arnold with 5 points in the game. The second assist for Parker Davis. Okonkwo for 3. Top of the key. No good. Arnold the rebound. And Okonkwo will slow him down. And Redeemer will reset here. Davis happy to slow things down. He's got 13 points in the game. The screen from Narula. He will take it. Driving with the left hand. Goes up for 2. Short. But he is fouled. And this foul is going to be called on Woodley Kime. His first of the game. And Davis will go to the line for 2 for his first attempts of this one. 6 for 10 from the field. 1 for 1 from beyond the arc. And he's been about as productive as you can ask for the Royals to start this game. And we've mentioned Davis has been about as efficient as he's been since joining the Royals, above 40% from the field overall, and he'll knock down 2 shots there. So Redeemer extending the lead to 14 at the beginning of this second quarter. Trying to keep their foot on the gas. Levi Coombs back in for Canadore. 10 on the shot clock here. That gets away. It got away from Jonathan Tashinda. It'll be another turnover, a Suomo in the vicinity. And so 3 minutes gone by. Redeemer is on a 9-2 run to start this quarter, and it's going to be a timeout called by, I think it's called on Redeemer. And indeed it is. So Redeemer uses their first timeout of the game. of the game, yep. And 9-2 run, as we mentioned, starting the second quarter. You know, you talk about a lot of top-heavy production, as we've seen a lot for Redeemer in this game. It doesn't feel as much as it has in previous games. Of course, Parker Davis, leading the scoring substantially, but it's come from a lot of different sources, not just one-on-one shots. They've had some good ball movement. Davis finding his looks in transition. A lot of assists across the board. Double-digit assist numbers. Cole Arnold, of course, leading that category with 4. But you look at a guy like Jack Narula as well, being able to locate some of his scorers in multiple positions. He doesn't have a shot attempt, but he's got 2 assists in the game. And so out of the timeout, Canadore continuing to pressure. It's a light man press here, but nevertheless gives Redeemer something to think about. Asuomo's going to drive. He took some contact there from Levi Coombs, and Asuomo stays down. This might be trouble for Redeemer. It's a 2-on-1 the other way, and it's put up and in, but the official down here on the Redeemer side is going to stop play for Jason Asuomo. And hard to catch exactly what happened, but it looked like he might have hurt himself before giving up the ball as he stumbled back. And both teams will go to their benches here. Asuomo not looking too good there down below the basket. He's been able to sit up, and we'll see he's able to put weight on both feet, which is encouraging. Coach Hopkins coming over to help his player, able to walk off, which is encouraging. So we'll hopefully see Asuomo back in this game, but at the very least, we will hope it's not too serious. And so Canadore was able to convert in transition down on the other side. And I believe it'll be Jeremiah Della Foresta into the game to replace him. And sorry, it was Barbosa who came in to replace Asuomo. Della Foresta stays in the game. Here's Davis. Outside to Ona. 13 on the shot clock. Gets inside. Wraps it around. Finds Della Foresta. Good swing of the action here. Barbosa coming in off the spin move. Leaves it for Dick. Dick's got 3 guys on him. He'll get inside. No, couldn't finish the layup. And it'll be Ona coming in on the foul after the rebound was taken in by Bonkin. That's the first team foul of the second quarter for Redeemer, the first foul of the game on Ona. And Dick looked like he found his way inside the key, surrounded by white jerseys, but couldn't get the finish to go. His first field goal miss of this game. And he'll stay in the game. He'll be guarding the ball here on Bonkin. Coombs leaves it off. That's a good attempt inside from Kejon White. Can't get it to go. Going up inside was Bonkin, blocked by Dick, who gets the rebound. And they'll try and spark things the other way. Barbosa driving to his left. Tries the skip pass to Ona, but Levi Coombs got a hand in there. And Canadore caused the turnover. Inside on the right hand. No good from Cabella. Bonkin dishes it underneath, and that is put up and in. A nice finish there by Kejon White. Good patience. Held on to it, puts it in. First points of the game for White. Cuts the lead to 10. Ona gets Coombs in the air. He'll pull it up from the right elbow for 2. Doesn't go. Rebound goes the other way. Coombs can't control it, so it will be a full court turnover against the Panthers. And so midway through quarter number 2, 10-point game. Ona struggling to control the basketball, guarded by Woody Kime. And now he gets inside and puts it in. And so Ona sticks with it, and now the other way is going to come the Panthers. That one goes up, no good. Tashinda couldn't put it in. A tussle for the rebound. Barbosa comes down with it. He'll look to go quickly the other way, all the way down the length of the court. No good. And now 3-on-2 come the Panthers. Skip pass. The shot from the 45, 3 is good. And that's the first 3-point make of the game for Canadore. And it's Kajon White, who's got 5 points in the quarter, knocking it down in transition. So a bit of a hectic pace here. Canadore brings the lead back down inside single digits. King Stewart's going to go up for 2 with the right hand. And he gets it to go. A nice finish for King Stewart. And we're going to have a pause in the action here for a timeout, which is going to be taken by Stephen Hong with 4:10 to go. Redeemer 42, Canadore 31 here in quarter number 2. Redeemer Royals basketball would like to thank Wes Shulstrom of Remax Escarpment Realty, the official sponsor of our Final Score updates this season. Wes is passionate about helping families find their place to call home. So whether you're buying or selling, trust experience and integrity. Trust Wes Shulstrom, Remax Escarpment Realty. Thank you, Wes, for your ongoing support of Redeemer Royals athletics. And so Redeemer very efficient on the game, over 50% on their field goal attempts. They've, of course, had a lot of those come off of turnovers. But Canadore has been able to keep it close, mostly with their production from the free throw line. Meanwhile, for Redeemer, one statistic that is going to be certainly something to look out for coming into halftime. Redeemer with 15 assists on 17 field goal makes. That's an encouraging sign. They're spraying the ball around really, really well. As coming out of the timeout, that's going to be Caleb Connors getting his first action of the game. He'll get called for the foul. And so we'll see Woodley Kime go to the line for 2. We mentioned that Kime had 14 points in the game against St. Clair. He's been held to 0 for 4 from the field to start this one. He gets his second point of the game with that free throw. Kime is the other member of this Canadore team who spent some time with Edge Prep in Calgary. His first year of post-secondary eligibility being used this season. And so the lead back down to 10. Narula back in the game, playing as that half-court pivot on this press break. Caleb Connors also in the game, as well as Caden King Stewart. So 3 first years in the game for the Royals right now. As 10 to shoot, Barbosa's going to take it on the right-hand side. Gets in. The help is late. Barbosa puts it in for 2. And he draws the foul. And so Barbosa, who had an and one earlier in this one, he'll have a chance to convert on his second of the game. And you saw that there. He held onto it for a good 4 or 5 seconds on that right wing. Action going on the opposite side. Screens being set. That draws the help away from where it should be. Barbosa gets there. The help is late. And it's an easy layup with the right hand as he denies the screen and puts it in for 2. And he converts the free throw. And now Connors gets his hands in there. It's going to be called out of bounds off of Redeemer. And it was Igbonkin who thought he might have gotten fouled. But either way, Canadore is going to have the ball here with a few seconds to get it over half on their own side of half court. So Kime to inbound. We'll get it to Kajon White. And White might have gone over and back, and he did. Foot was on the line. Connors was able to put enough pressure on him that he didn't notice it. And so it'll be another turnover for Canadore here in this first half. It'll be their 10th of the game. And so a front court inbound. It's going to be a quick trigger to find Della Foresta. Good from 3. And another shot from downtown. Della Foresta knocks it down. Barbosa with the assist on the inbound. And talk about a guy you like to see heating up at the right time. Gabe Della Foresta knocks down his second triple of the game. He's got 8. And we've seen Della Foresta have a series of productive games, of course, particularly in the game last weekend against Niagara. But then again today, he second leading scorer for the Royals behind just Parker Davis. And that's a great look, one that we've seen him hit many times during his years here. Here's a floater on the inside, right-handed floater, no good. Rebounded by Narula at the end of the shot clock. Narula looking to extend the court. Della Foresta puts it inside, another good extra pass on the swing. Connors for 3, no good. Rebound in the air, Della Foresta pulls it down, so Redeemer will get a fresh 14. Back up top to Connors, 10 to shoot. Connors will call the screen from King Stewart. He picks up his dribble. 2 defenders there for the Panthers. That'll be a turnover in the full court. The shot from White, no good. And now Barbosa coming down with the left-hand dribble. Pressure on him, but he puts it in. And a nice layup there with the left hand. Woodley Kime was coming up behind him. Could have made the argument there could have been a foul. But either way, Redeemer with another bucket in transition, and down the other way goes Zariel Malongo, who's had a pretty decent first half on the offensive side, but Redeemer's extended the lead to 16 with 2:15 to go in the second quarter. Here is Narula on Malongo, slips it underneath, and how about that look from Jack Narula, his 3rd assist of the game, and Barbosa with an easy look for 2, and another turnover by the Panthers on the ensuing possession. I mean, talk about a guy who's shown a lot of maturity as a first year. Jack Narula gets the entry pass from the wing. One dribble, the heads turn, and he sees in his peripherals Tomas Barbosa just sitting there hanging out under the hoop. Barbosa had tons of time to put that one up and in. And so 2 minutes to go. Redeemer leads by 18. Thackeray will come back into the game. They'll run that Atlanta screen look. Davis denies the screen coming across from Narula. That's the second time we've seen them use that Iverson look. Some call it the Iverson cut, some call it the Atlanta screen, but either way, Jack Narula coming to set a screen for the ball. Davis has been pretty good to look for offensive opportunities off of that. And now again, Davis picks it up. More contact. Oswomo driving to his left, puts it up off the backboard, no good. Oswomo seems to be okay after going down earlier in the game. Here comes Malongo again, getting inside. Tries to wrap it in with the right hand, can't get it to go, and he trails the play now. Ona to Davis, a quick trigger 3, goes down, no foul. Referee signaling that it was clean defending. And so Davis no good from beyond the arc. Here's Okonkwo, leaving it for Coombs. 1:14 to go. Canadore down by 18. Driving with the right hand. Good help coming. Coombs, guarded by Thackeray, tries to wrap around a skip pass. Can't get it to go. Oswomo in transition. Tried to find Ona, and they ended up colliding as Okonkwo gets a hand on it. And now Davis will... What are we going to see here? It'll be a block. It will be a block. Davis unable to successfully sell the charge, and he'll pick up his second foul of the game. And that's one where it's 50-50, you know. It looks like a charge depending on what angle you're standing at as an official, but not enough contact to draw the ref into that charge call, and so it'll send Igbonkin to the free throw line for 2. As we mentioned, Igbonkin under 50% on the season, but he's knocked down his first 3 attempts of the game today. And so under a minute to go here, Igbonkin good on both free throws again. Trying to turn the pressure up. Thackeray, 2 men coming over in the press. Thackeray still with the ball. Will skip it into the middle. Oh, that went through about 3 defenders. And Ona will go up for 2. No good. Coombs pulls it down. And a skip pass. Trying to go quickly here are the Panthers. And Igbonkin might have traveled there either way. Can't get it over top of Thackeray. And the follow-up is good. And so now with 30 seconds to go, a quick 2-for-1 potentially here for Redeemer. And now the shot clock goes under 23. So we'll see what they try to do. Another trap coming. That time it was a foul, but Coach Brown not too happy. You could see on the sideline that that trap wasn't called, and Ona gets bailed out by the foul, but that could have easily been a turnover. It's the 4th team foul of the game for Canadore. Coombs will be called. It'll be his first, just the 6th team foul overall called on Canadore. Here's Connors on the inside. That aggressive trap happening at both the free throw line extended as well as the low block. And so Redeemer will have 10 seconds to shoot. The entry pass to Dick. Davis trying to sneak behind backdoor. Dick's going to go up for 2 with the right hand. And a nice bucket for Ben Dick. 10 seconds to go in the half. Here comes Zariel Malongo off the front of the rim. It's still there. And neither team able to get control of it. And it looked like Okonkwo got a touch and was able to put it in. As we reach halftime in this one, a back and forth first half, both teams with some productive scoring on both sides, but it's the Royals that have the 14-point lead at the end of quarter number 2. Parker Davis with 15 points in the game leads the Royals. Zariel Malongo with 12 leads the Panthers. The only other double-digit scorer was Tomas Barbosa, who of course had those 2-and-1s and a couple of looks underneath with 10 points in the game. Cole Arnold, he's got 5 points, 4 assists for the Royals in this game, as well as being 1-for-1 on his shots from beyond the arc. And of course, we mentioned that Gabe Della Foresta, he knocked down 2 from downtown as well. Redeemer, a hot start, moving the ball really well. 19 assists on 22 made field goal attempts. I mean, you can't ask for a better offensive showcase. And they've also been perfect from the free throw line. And so we will step aside here at halftime. We'll let you guys get a good look at the game day experience here at halftime at Redeemer. It's always a good time. And we'll be back in about 7 to 10 minutes to get All right, I'm good whenever you are. And so welcome back to the live stream here at Redeemer for the second half of today's game between Redeemer and Canadore. The halftime score, as you can see on your screen, Redeemer leads 54-40 after 20 minutes of play. Leading scorers in the game, Parker Davis leads the Royals with 15 points, 3 assists, and 2 rebounds on 6 for 11 shooting. Tomas Barbosa off the bench with 10 points in the half, including 2 and 1s. He's got 4 rebounds and 3 assists as well. For the Canadore Panthers, it's Ziriel Malongo leading the scoring with 12 points, 5 for 7 shooting. He's also got 3 offensive rebounds in the game. A couple of key pointers at halftime as we get set to go here with 2 minutes to go in halftime is Redeemer's got 19 assists on 22 made field goals. Talking to assistant coach Adam Pavlik at the half, he's more than happy to see his posts. Of course, Jack Narula being the point of emphasis, making some great reads from that position. Cole Arnold's also got 4 assists in the game, so a lot of good opportunities, making the good reads, locating those open guys has converted a lot of opportunities for Redeemer. They've also been really solid in transition, including points off of turnovers in this one. Canadore turning the ball over 12 times, Redeemer turning it over just 7. And that's going to be a key point of emphasis for Coach Stephen Hopkins as this second half continues, is can Redeemer start to kind of, hunker down on some of those weaknesses that has cost them in other games, including, turning the ball over, staying composed under full court pressure. We've seen that really get the best of them in games such as the Sheridan game or Mohawk, where that results in a lot of points going the other way. So a really big test of resolve here in the second half, and hopefully it can result in the second win of the season for Redeemer. So it looks like we're going to see Tomas Barbosa start the second half for Redeemer. Aside from that, it's the same 4 that started the game. And Redeemer will get the first possession. Redeemer in the red from left to right on your screen. Canadore in the white, moving from right to left. We're underway. Cole Arnold gets things started. And here is Della Foresta. Had 2 3-point makes in that first half. Davis coming off of a 15-point first half, slicing and dicing into the lane. Can't get the finish. Dick had a hand on the rebound, but it ends up going out of bounds off of him. And so a turnover to start things off in this second half. And here is Favor Okonkwo. He had 6 points in the first half. He'll leave it off to Coombs, who we didn't see a whole lot of. And this is Igbonkin now. Nice dish on the inside. Okonkwo gets through. Couldn't finish the layup. Had a wide open look at it. And the rebound is there. Controlled offensively, and Redeemer gets to it. Davis, nobody to contest him down the lane, puts it in for 2. And so another fast break bucket and another assist for the Royals. And that's going to be a walk. That's called on Jonathan Desheen to shuffle his feet on the drive on the left-hand baseline, and that's a turnover for Canadore. And so a half-court set opportunity. Canadore sticking in the man defense. Coombs guarding Arnold. He leaves it off for Barbosa. He'll try from beyond the arc. No good. Rebound is there from Della Foresta. Quickly sends it back out. Barbosa will look again to shoot, and now Arnold from the left-hand 45 keeps it. Davis for 3 on the right-hand side. Off the backboard. No good. Rebound taken by Barbosa. Fresh 14. He will try his luck, and he knocks it down. And so Redeemer moving the ball around, giving up a good shot for a great one, and Barbosa holds on to the offensive board and puts it in for 3. Barbosa's got 13 in the game, and Canadore will come the other way. And an answer right there from Malongo. He builds on his strong first half performance. Meanwhile, Della Foresta, it rims out. And Canadore will go the other way. A quick transition look for Malongo. Gets his own rebound and puts it in for 2. Malongo with a quick start to this second half. He's got 5 points and 17 on the night. Here is Cole Arnold, leaves it off for Dick. Dick, one dribble, goes up with the right hand and puts it in off the glass. And the other way comes the Panthers with Tashinda. No good. Both teams happy to go back and forth in transition. And that's another miss. And another deep look. This time it'll be a foul on Cole Arnold. So both teams vulnerable in transition. The get-back's not quite where they need to be. And so both teams now finally getting a chance to catch their breath as Arnold gets called for the foul. That'll be his first of the game. And it is going to send the Panthers to the line where they were 6 for 12 in the first half. And this will be Zuriel Malongo. As we mentioned, the first year out of Hamilton. He's had a pretty productive showing in this one so far. He's no good on the second free throw. And so a 15-point lead. Redeemer able to extend it by one out of the half. Thomas Barbosa goes the other way, and he can't put it in. And now Canadore again in transition. Able to get possession of it is Della Foresta, and Barbosa was down there with nobody to contest it, and now he gets the steal off the inbound. Can't put in the follow-up for two. Davis trying to guard Okonkwo in the full court. And now we've got a foul underneath the basket. That'll be on Ben Dick. And so a hectic pace here to start quarter number 3. 3 minutes gone by. Back and forth we go. But it will be Royal Agbankin to the free throw line as the foul is called on Ben Dick. It's only his second of the game, but he will be checking out of this one. And Jack Narula will come back in. And so Agbankin, who had a decent first half, he had 6 points, 4 of which came from the free throw line.
Let me know if I want to when you want this. Okay.
And Agbankin continues to be perfect from the free throw line. 6 for 6. Here is Davis, a tough mid-range jumper. Some contact on the way up. Can't convert, but he will go to the line. Davis with an aggressive dribble gets into the lane. Elevates really well on that pull-up jumper. We've seen him do that a lot. A lot of times he gets space in the baseline. He's able to put it in over the hand of a defender. That time there was 2 guys on him. Some contact in the lower body, and so he'll get 2 shots. The first one's no good. Davis was 2 for 2 in half number 1. And he starts off this half 1 for 2. And so a 16-point lead. Davis with the steal. He thinks about a 3. Della Foresta will pick that one up. The Royals with 10 seconds on the shot on the shortened half-court turnover. Della Foresta puts it up. Can't get it to go. Arnold on the offensive glass. And he struggles to keep a handle on it. It won't be an over and back call. Davis with 8 to shoot. Skips it. Barbosa puts it up on the right hand. 45. No good. But another offensive rebound. Davis on the long closeout attacks. Barbosa with 1 dribble. Puts it up. No good. Della Foresta gets it on the shot. And he is fouled. And so Barbosa wasn't able to catch the rim, but he did catch the hands of his teammate Della Foresta, and a glorified extended assist might be in the works here as Jeremiah Della Foresta will go to the line. And so Barbosa unable to find his rhythm from beyond the arc in this one. But he still had a pretty productive game nonetheless as he checks out. Barbosa with 15 points in the game, 6 for 12 from the field. He's also got 6 rebounds. He leads the Royals on the glass. Della Foresta couldn't get the first. And so an uncharacteristic empty trip from the line, but it's another turnover from the Panthers in the first half. That time it's Ona stepping up into the lane to take away that pass on the inbound. And so Arnold will go. He's got a screen from King Stewart. He'll give it to him. 9 on the shot clock. From the 45 goes King Stewart. Goes after his own rebound. He can't get it. It's loose on the ground, and we're going to see it's going to be a held ball. And so the possession arrow will be in favor of Canadore. We're seeing a plethora of different pressures in the full court from both teams, and now Della Foresta will play as a second defender on the ball. The trap is there, and it was... Yes, it was. It was Woodley Kine that stepped out of bounds before he could get rid of it. And so the trap being set there, Della Foresta and Elijah Ona coming over and providing that pressure. And so Redeemer will get another possession in the half court. So Thackeray checks into the game. He'll give Cole Arnold a rest here. And he'll collect the inbound from Ona. Trying to take away that left-hand side, the Panthers defense. Here is King Stewart, goes one-on-one. A nice trip down inside, gets around the defender, Johnson. And King Stewart puts in his second field goal of the game. And that's a driving kick. Johnson trying to attack. Good presence on the inside there. And that is Kajan White, who gets it to go. And now Canadore bringing some pressure. Ona's going to go one-on-one. A little bit of extra help coming from McBonkin, who skips it across. And now Thackeray, he walked. So Thackeray guilty of the turnover. Redeemer not able to fully catch their rhythm there offensively as Canadore was able to set up the press. So Davis checks back in after a short breather. The lead still at 16. Redeemer unable to extend it significantly. Here is White trying to go one-on-one against Ona. He kicks it across. And this is Cabella on the inside. Gets it to the slicing wing player there. That was Okonkwo who puts it in. Davis attacking on that right baseline. Tries to go up and under. Can't get it. Transition attack now for Malongo, who kicks it right back out. Here is White, guarded by Ona. 15 to shoot. Screen coming from Johnson. King Stewart coming as a second defender. Trying to drive. The baseline cut there from Okonkwo is no good. And so Favor Okonkwo getting another look from the baseline cut. That time was unable to finish. And now 10 to shoot. Ona guarded by Johnson. They'll try and clear it out. Some space for Jack Narula. On the inside against Okonkwo. The left hand finishes good. And rather, that was Malonga who he puts it in over. And that's great awareness by the Redeemer offense late in the shot clock, locating a favorable matchup, and he puts it in. Here's Kajan White on the inside. Left hand, no good. Ona on the rebound. Trying to break things out, might have numbers. Ona attacks against the much larger Johnson, who is guilty of the foul. And so a freight train coming down in the form of Elijah Ona, and he will go to the line for two. Man, that's one of those instances where you're kind of right on the border of being, aggressive, attacking, and maybe just being out of control. Ona, going up against two guys as an undersized guard, able to pick up the foul. And he converts his first free throw there. And that was Baron Cabella who was called on the foul. That is going to be Cabella's first of the game. And so Ona knocks down 2 for 2. He'll be removed from the game now in favor of Caleb Connors, who gets his second stint. He's got 2 fouls in the game. And he'll be out there with Narula and King Stewart, that all first-year freshman front court with Davis and Thackeray. And Thackeray, as we mentioned, is going to be called for the blocking foul there. It'll be a dead ball foul. So a baseline out of bounds coming for Canadore. Royal Igbonkin checks back into the game. And that will be Agbankin taking it up top. Leaves it off to Okonkwo with a three-point shot. There from the top of the key, no good. Offensive rebound there by Agbankin. A bit of action underneath the hoop there as multiple Royals players have to hold back King Stewart from getting involved with Kejon White, and nothing extra given by any of the officials, and it's handled very well by the other players on both sides. So this game not quite out of hand yet. Canadore trying to keep themselves within striking distance. It'll be Agbankin going back to the line where he's 6 for 6 on the day. And that's Okonkwo and Malongo in the backcourt for Canadore. Those are the two leading scorers in the game for Canadore with 17 points and 9 points respectively. Royal Agbankin gets himself up to 9 points with that made free throw. And now a chance to go to double digits with this one. And that's his first miss of the game. It's short. Dick trying to control the rebound, and he does against Kejon White. And here comes Narula. Number 15, Connors, will leave that off to Parker Davis, trying to go one-on-one. He's got a good matchup here against Agbankin, and he puts it in for two with the right hand. The help not there. He's able to beat him going towards the baseline again, and Davis is up to 18 points here with 3 to go in quarter number 3. Make that 20. Here's a drive. White blocked by Davis, and now it's going to be called, what do we got here? Out of bounds. Off of Parker Davis. And so an inbounds play coming in, baseline inbounds with 15 to go on the shot clock. Looking for Agbankin on the inbound, couldn't control it. But it's going to be deemed a touch there by Della Foresta, Gabe Della Foresta, guarding the hoop there. So Canadore basketball still. 1 fewer second on the shot clock. They will skip this up top to Malongo, and Okonkwo guarded by Narula. A good matchup for Okonkwo, goes in, and he is fouled. And so Narula will be the guilty party. He'll send Malongo to the line for 2. And so first foul of the game for Jack Narula. But he's got 3 assists in the game. And he's put together another good performance. And he's been a bit of a bright spot for Redeemer in terms of a promising young player who's stepped into a role that he might not have been expecting. Of course, he played more of a stretch forward guard in his high school days, and coming here to Redeemer's had to play, a little bit more of a forward 5-man role with Redeemer, and he's done very well in being adaptable to his responsibilities. Here's Della Foresta trying to find Dick, streaking in transition, couldn't get it. Coming the other way will be Agbankin. Good defending there by Barbosa. White, the leave. Malongo stepped out of bounds. And so another turnover for Canadore. They're up to 17 turnovers on the game. And 2.5 minutes to go. Redeemer leads by 18. Barbosa attacking. Puts it through the legs of Okonkwo there to Ben Dick, who will try to go up for 2. Swarmed by white jerseys. Caleb Connors comes up with it. Davis screaming for him on that left-hand side. 6 to shoot. Screen coming. Dick sets the screen. Davis for 3, and he knocks it down on the step-back jumper with the shot clock expiring. Parker Davis, have a day. He knocks it down. And a transition lay the other way is no good. Can't be kept alive, so it'll be Canadore basketball. But how about that late second shot clock action from Parker Davis? Puts it in. 2 defenders on him. His second 3-point make of the game. And it's a beauty. Davis has got 23 points. And Redeemer extends the lead to 21. Timeout called by the Royals. With just over 2 minutes to go here in quarter number 3. And that bucket there by Parker Davis might just be a candidate for our Finn Pools Make a Splash move of the game. For over 25 years, Finn Pools has been transforming backyards with custom designs, expert installations, and trusted maintenance, delivering top quality products they stand behind. From concept to completion, they believe kindness matters and every project deserves excellence. Visit finpools.ca to learn more or start your next pool project today. Thank you to Finn Pools for supporting Redeemer Royals Athletics. And so just over 2 minutes to go in quarter number 3. Redeemer leads 75-54. It'll be a quick trigger on the baseline there from Levi Coombs off the inbound. Couldn't get it. Davis with the rebound. Skip pass out in transition to Caleb Connors. He will kick it back out. Barbosa trying to drive on the baseline, and he is fouled. That is Coombs on the foul as Barbosa was able to get a step towards the baseline. And so it'll be a baseline out of bounds. The 4th team foul called on Canadore. The next one will be 2 shots for Redeemer. Here's the inbound. Barbosa makes a nice move underneath and puts it in with the right hand. Davis will get credit for the assist. Barbosa's got 17 in the game. And coming back the other way, finishing with the inside hand, that is Zuriel Malongo. And he's had a pretty efficient game of his own. Up to 19 points in this one. The lead still 21. A minute and a half to go. Here is Davis. Dick with the moving screen. A bit of a ghost screen. Davis can't finish, and now Redeemer's got a bit of a miscommunication in the backcourt, but they'll get away with it. Della Foresta will Euro step inside himself, and that looked like a foul, and it certainly is. Coombs will pick up another. Della Foresta will go to the line to shoot 2. And I think that's an example, that last possession where Redeemer, coming off of the missed shot on one end, only with one guy back to defend, and not necessarily a intentional breakout for the Panthers offensively, but Redeemer needs to be better at having those guys back to slow down those offensive possessions, because we've seen it hurt them in the past. This game they're doing a much better job. Canadore's struggling on the offensive side, just shooting 35% from the field, 25% from beyond the arc. So they're getting a little bit more of a favorable matchup in this one for sure. But just one thing that they've definitely struggled with. So 10 on the shot clock now, under a minute to go in quarter number 3. Barbosa will skip that to Dick. Dick will go up for 2, and that's a nice pick and roll there. Dick able to get the matchup, and he puts it in. So Dick into double-digit scoring on the night. And here's a lead. Kajan White will step back for 3. That one, no good. And Barbosa on the rebound. So a 2-for-1 opportunity for the Royals here. 37 seconds to go. Barbosa will slow it down. He'll call for the screen. He'll go the opposite way. Barbosa stays with it. And it's going to be a travel as he held onto the ball as he went to the ground. So Canadore has it now. 28 seconds to go. 4-second differential game clock, shot clock. And they'll try the baseball pass. And that's Zuriel Malongo getting through everybody. Can't finish. But they'll still have the baseline out of bounds here. And so Malongo somehow got behind everybody, and that pass went over the heads of all the Royals defenders. And we're going to see Steven Zhu get his first action of the game today. He checks into the game with 23 seconds to go here in the half. And this will be Malongo up against him. Dick guarding the inside against Igbonkin, who puts it up for 2. Can't get it to go. Caleb Connors on the rebound, trying to get it away to one of his teammates, and Steven Zhu puts it up for 2. He gets a free look at 2, and that'll be the end of quarter number 3. Redeemer able to extend the lead to what is that? That's 26 points. With a great run to end this third quarter. It's Redeemer 82, Canadore 56. And so a bit of a lower efficiency from the field, but still maintaining a 48.4% field goal percentage across the game for Redeemer. They've been really solid. They found a lot of good opportunities on in a variety of ways, both on the inside, both from beyond the arc, and still managing to spread the ball around nicely. 24 assists, only 5 assists in that third quarter. But defensively, they've done a fantastic job as well, holding Canadore to just 16 points in that third quarter. All right, you can put it back. And so with 1 quarter to go here in Ancaster, Redeemer able to extend the lead coming out of the half, and they're feeling pretty comfortable now. We saw Stephen Jew get some minutes there, and he will start this fourth quarter on the floor. Looking ahead for Redeemer, they've got a big set of games coming up, but meanwhile, the only other game happening today across the OCAA is in the East, and that's Centennial against La Cité. They lead 30-18 after quarter number 1. And so that's some good defending there by Redeemer. They forced another turnover. Redeemer's got as we mentioned earlier, and we'll keep mentioning it, a big game coming up next Friday. That's against Fanshawe. Fanshawe, one of the other teams in the kind of the lower end of the standings in the OCAA West that Redeemer is going to have a good result against if they want to remain competitive in this playoff hunt. They've certainly done the job so far today in that regard against Canadore, but it's going to take a little bit more than that to make sure they're where they need to be. And so Stephen Jew playing some stifling defense there, forces the turnover. Stephen, he's been around the Redeemer program for some time, and he gets his first look at the game here. He's, of course, a first year out of Windsor, Ontario. Spent his high school days at Vincent Massey out in Windsor. And here is Dick for the Royals, and he'll try and go at Egbonkin again. Gets his own rebound, leaves it off to, who's that, Stephen Jew underneath. Dick's got double-digit scoring in the game. Coming down the other way, that's a nice take from Okonkwo. And Okonkwo's had a solid game for Canadore. And coming downhill, that's Barbosa. Really solid game for Barbosa again. He's got 19 points in the game on over 50% shooting from the field. We got a foul here on the floor, so that basket will not count. And you look across the league. The OCAA West, of course, is a very, very competitive division, and it always has been. You look at some of the more recent CCAA champions. You see, of course, Humber, defending champions from last year, and no doubt will be among the favorites to win it again this year. They're 7-0, of course, to start the year, but teams like Mohawk, St. Clair, perennial powerhouses across not just the OCAA, but also the CCAA. And Redeemer, of course, has to go against those teams twice per year. And, it's a high level of competition in this division, and it's not always the easiest one to kind of get a handle on when you face a lot of those teams early in the season, as Egbonkin knocks down one from beyond the arc. And so 8:22 to go. Here's Ona, skips it across. Stephen Jew will skip it again. That's a nice bit of ball movement from Redeemer. Barbosa can't get the three, and it's rebounded by Egbonkin, who goes down, and it'll be called a held ball on the play. Eggbonken's got himself going with 12 points in the game. That was just a second field goal made there on the previous possession where he knocked down the 3. But he's also got 9 rebounds. So Royal Eggbonken, we mentioned he averages 9 points per game, 9.8 points per game for Canadore coming into this one. He's got himself another solid double-digit performance. The inbounds play here, it's taken by Narula, and he will lose the handle there with 4 seconds to go on the shot clock. Thought he might have gotten fouled, but it'll go the way of the Panthers. Redeemer leads here by 23, applying a little bit of full court pressure. It's picked up well, and the press is broken well, and that's a nice look inside, and that's Okonkwo with the floater. Gets himself up to 14 points on the game, and Canadore is applying some similar pressure. Barbosa skips it across. Del Foresta in transition. In and out. The rebound controlled by Canadore. White almost gave it up again, but now he'll attack. Here's Eggbonken. Thought about it. Put the ball down, but he shuffled his feet. So it'll be a traveling violation. Redeemer will maintain possession here. And we're going to see, it's going to be a timeout called by Canadore. So 7.5 to go. The lead is 21 in favor of Redeemer. It's their largest lead of the game, or just under their largest lead of the game. Canadore's got a quick turnaround because tomorrow they will be up the 401 to Brampton, where they'll take on Sheridan. And we, of course, saw Redeemer take on Sheridan earlier in this game, earlier this week. Sheridan's an aggressive team. They press aggressively for 40 minutes. Canadore possibly getting a little bit of a test of that here against Redeemer today, but it's a very aggressive, high-level zone press. It certainly got the most out of Redeemer, not just in the sense that it stifles your offense, but it does create a lot of opportunity for the pressing team to convert some of those turnovers into points, as we saw on Wednesday with Redeemer. That game will tip off at 1 o'clock at Sheridan College, so Canadore's got a quick turnaround for that one. Redeemer, as we mentioned, Saturday, 3 p.m., back here at the Redeemer Athletic Center to take on Fanshawe in a huge matchup in the OCAA West for playoff positions. Here is Parker Davis. He'll turn that over. It's hard pressure being applied by Eli Menda, and that's a block. Great backtracking by King Stewart. He'll put it over top. Arnold racing for it. That goes off of him, and it'll be it went off of a Canadore player, so it'll stay Redeemer basketball there. And some aggressive defending being applied here by Eli Menda to Parker Davis. Davis back into the game. He's got 23 points. That's right around his average on the season, which leads the OCAA. And now Della Foresta gets a good look from 3. Can't get it. Rebounded by Canadore. And we got an injured player. That's Faber Okonkwo. He's down. That shot is no good on the other side. And we'll wait to see if Okonkwo's okay. It looks like he is. He'll get back on defense as Jack Narula comes down in transition. Good defending there by Cabella. Kicked right back inside by Della Foresta. That's a turnover. And Cabella goes one-on-one down the lane and puts it in over top of Parker Davis. That's Baron Cabella with his first points of the game. The lead is now 19 for Redeemer, and we got a foul. It's going to be called on Faber Okonkwo. Just his second foul of the game. Called on Cole Arnold. And so Arnold, of course, this third-year man out of Beamsville, Ontario. Can't control that one as it's given up, and Arnold stays down, but he'll be okay. Trailing the play a little bit here. Trying to apply some pressure. He'll pick up Kayjon White, and that one's going to go off of Cabella. Jack Narula also in the area. Arnold stepping out of the game. He's been a real Swiss Army knife for Coach Hopkins, and he can play a lot of different positions as a guard. Very versatile. He's got the range from beyond the arc, and he can also apply a lot of pressure defensively. We got a timeout here called by Redeemer with 6 minutes to go. They'll have the inbound when we come back. But Redeemer Royals basketball would like to thank Wes Shilstra of Remax Escarpment Realty, the official sponsor of our Final Score updates this season. Wes is passionate about helping families find their place to call home. So whether you're buying or selling, trust experience and integrity, trust Wes Shilstra, Remax Escarpment Realty. Thank you, Wes, for your ongoing support of Redeemer Royals Athletics. And if you follow the Redeemer on Instagram, I'm sure you would have seen the results from yesterday's volleyball games. Both Royals teams putting up good fights against Niagara, but neither was able to come out with the win. Of course, it was Movember night here at Redeemer last night. It's always a great cause and a great turnout whenever the men's team does do that. And not quite the same crowd on hand tonight, but a good one nonetheless. As Davis has got 14 on the shot clock. He'll drive on the baseline again. No help there. Davis puts it in. Davis has got 25 in the game. And another good attack from the perimeter for Parker Davis. And that's good defending there by King Stewart on Cabella. And he picks up the rebound as well. So Caden King Stewart, Ona, Jack Narula in the game. Della Foresta and Davis are the two non-freshmen. And that ball's thrown away by Jack Narula right to Coach Hopkins, who puts it down with some force there, a bit frustrated that his team couldn't figure out that half-court possession. And they've done a pretty good job, with a couple of exceptions, of maintaining good composure in the half-court. We've talked about the assist numbers all game. 28 assists on 34 made field goals. And just 15 turnovers against 28 assists. Whenever you can have an assist-to-turnover ratio above 1, that's going to be a productive day offensively. There's an inside pass to Igbonkin, puts it up off the rim, no good. Della Foresta on the rebound, gets it to Davis, will try break it out in transition. 3 dribbles down, gives it to Narula, patient underneath, tries to skip it across. Ona had a man in between him and the ball, and so it will be a turnover. Eli Menda picks it up. This is Tashinda, and he is fouled on the pass, so we'll see where it's going to be inbounded from. It'll be a baseline out of bounds. So the second foul of the game called on Jack Narula. And we've mentioned Narula's been a real solid contributor for Redeemer, and that's definitely been the case today. Not necessarily seeing it on the score sheet in terms of points scored, but he does, of course, as we mentioned, had 2 assists in this game, 2 rebounds in this game. He's put up a good number of minutes for them as well. He's also started 2 games, and he's 43% from the field, so he's been very efficient with the minutes that he has had. And now here's a nice give and go. Davis getting the pass back from King Stewart, can't get the finish, but the outlet pass there from Woodley Kime was too high. So Redeemer will inbound again. They lead by 21 now with under 5 minutes to go. Davis will step out of the game. He's got 25 points in this one on 9 for 8 shooting. And so Barbosa will inbound here. A nice over-the-top pass to King Stewart. He's got a 2-on-1. He'll elect to give it off to Della Foresta. The pass too low. And that's an instance where I think if you're a kid in King Stewart, you have to attack as long as you can until the defense stops you. You know, in those 2-on-1 situations, you run those 2-on-1 drills in practice, right? And if you can get a layup, you got to get a layup, right? Take the margin for error out of it if you can. Avoid making that pass until you are stopped. And that's an instance where Della Foresta is just not expecting that one to come. And so a 3-man high press look They'll give it right back to Barbosa. Narula playing as the inside pivot. Another 2-on-1. This time King Stewart does keep it, and he can't get the finish to go. The help came late. King Stewart battling for it underneath. It's on the ground, rolling around. What are we going to call it here? It's going to be a held ball as King Stewart was on the ground. Possession arrow in favor of Canadore as we move under 4 minutes in this one. Caden King Stewart, he's the first year. Attended Cathedral High School in downtown Hamilton. He was a late addition to this Royals team. And so far this year, he's averaging just under 5 points per game on 15 minutes per game. So he's been a bit of a backup forward, center, playing in a lot of different positions as well. And certainly makes up a promising youth core to this Redeemer squad. And that's Narula and Barbosa trying to swarm McBonkin there, but he gets away with it. And now the floater goes up, it's put in, but it's going to be waved off for a travel as Jonathan Deshinda took a few too many steps there. The calls were there from the bench of Redeemer. Deshinda trying to argue that it might have been a gather, but no dice for him. Canadore now with a 21-point deficit. We'll see if they try any last-ditch efforts to get back into this one. Here's a nice dish across. Ona for three, and he knocks it down. And that's another assist, that one coming from Barbosa. And Elijah Ona knocking down his first three-point attempt of the game, and we got a steal. 4-on-2 the other way. Connors picks it up, gives it to Narula, goes up for two, and it's good. So Jack Narula converting on his second field goal attempt as well. And we've got... Oh, Barbosa tried to draw the charge as well. And there's Parker Davis across from us. He's seeming to have the same inclination, but it's going to be actually an and one on the other side following the dish. We'll see White at the line. He put it in for two, and he'll have a chance to go for one more. White's got 9 points in the game. And so Connors is guilty of the foul. He will step out of the game now. Both the Della Foresta twins out there. The press continues here from Redeemer. They'll make the inside pass to Della Foresta, who in that good kind of safety valve spot when you bring in 3-4 defenders to take away the inbounds as Jeremiah Della Foresta puts it up and in. The baseball pass the other way. Barbosa had to be there to guard Levi Coombs. Does well, but it's Igbonkin who ends up collecting the rebound and putting it in. And that's where you want your big to come down. You want a big that has the confidence, like we've seen Jack Narula have on multiple occasions, to come down the middle of the floor, demand the ball when the two guards are being pressured so aggressively. We saw that against Sheridan. It just wasn't there. Maybe a little bit less aggressive of a press today for Canadore, but nonetheless, Redeemer showing a little bit more composure in setting up their press attack. And here's an instance where you got to get it set up correctly. So Narula's going to come in the middle here. Ona's going to take the inbound. It's a light press there as Malongo didn't step up as aggressively. But that's kind of the way you want to attack this type of press if you're Redeemer. And if you do it successfully enough, right, you decrease the effectiveness of that press, but inversely, you also increase your scoring opportunities because you can pick that press apart. And when you can't do it effectively, not only does it completely throw your offense off, but it also gives the opposing team opportunities to score, as we saw against Sheridan, and maybe one piece of improvement to take out of this one for Redeemer, besides just the final scoreline. So 8 on the shot clock. Barbosa will give it up. Ona has 1-3 in this game. He dishes inside to King Stewart. King Stewart goes up. And it's going to be Coombs who came in, hands swinging. It'll be a foul. And so King Stewart will go to the line. So under 2 minutes to go. One of Redeemer's more productive outputs of the season. King Stewart will knock it down. And so one more here for King Stewart. We're going to see Steven Zhu and Connors come to the scorer's table to check back in to possibly close this one out. It'll be Redeemer's second win of the season if they can hang on here. Both wins will have come at home. Of course, they also dropped one to Mohawk to start the season, as well as a loss last week or a week and a half ago to Humber. So they'll move to 2-2 at home. Meanwhile, on the road, they will still be looking for that first road win. And their first chance to get that road win will actually come after the Christmas break, right here in Hamilton against Mohawk. Mohawk, a team that sits in second place in the OCAA West right now. Just one loss on the year. Came to Humber over the weekend. Last weekend. That's always a great matchup when those two teams face off, and we'll hope to see more of that again. That's a nice bucket on the inside. Steven Zhu converts the 2-foot finish, and Barbosa steals the inbound and puts it in. And so a quick 4-0 spurt there as Zhu gets himself on the board again in this one. Certainly a fan favorite the first year. Getting some good action in this one today. 12 on the shot clock now. Zhu on the outside perimeter guarding against the ball handler there. And Connors picks up the rebound on the air ball. He'll try and take it the other way. Goes all the way down the length of the court. And Coombs is going to pick up what will be his fourth foul of the game. And so a little bit of action late in this one as Connors picked up the rebound and took 5 dribbles 90 feet down the court. And he's good on the first free throw, which will put together a solid triple-digit scoring performance for Redeemer on the game. That one left a little bit to be desired. So with under 45 seconds to go, Redeemer leads by 26. And they will look to close this one out, applying a little bit of pressure. Just King Stewart behind the half-court line. Coombs is going to break the press against Steven Zhu. And here is Johnson for Canadore. Good help coming there by Ona. And that's good help. You know, that's the baseline help that Canadore wasn't able to bring in this game. Redeemer showing a little bit of good composure on both sides in the half-court. Of course, you know, you want to play in the half-court if you're Redeemer. You know that's where you're going to be successful. And so definitely a lot of pieces. A full week of practice ahead for Redeemer as they suit up for that game. That matchup against Fanshawe back here at Redeemer. This one is going to end with the Royals picking up a big win at home. This final score, Redeemer 100, Canadore 74. And of course, for full post-game statistics, you can visit RedeemerRoyals.ca. Of course, Parker Davis having a real productive game once again as he continues his streak of high-scoring games, leading the OCAA in scoring. And on an efficient night for Redeemer where they put forward a season high in assists, they get their second win of the season. We'll see you back here next weekend as Redeemer takes on Fanshawe. That'll be Saturday. The Royals women's team will, of course, be in action. They were not in action today, but they get the weekend off. They'll take on Fanshawe at 1 o'clock next Saturday. The men's team will hope to make it 2 wins in a row at 3 p.m. And so that'll about do it for us here at Redeemer. Make sure that you stay tuned for the post-game content on the RedeemerRoyals.ca website, and no shortage of good content there as well. And until next time, my name's Will Dykstra. It's been a pleasure joining you on the live stream today. We hope you enjoyed the live stream, and for all of us here, we hope you have a great rest of your day.